What's up everybody, welcome back to Avenged Media. If you're new here, I know we've got a few new subscribers around here, so I wanted to say welcome and thank you for hitting that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. The subscribers have been going up, the last few videos have done really well, there's been good engagement, so thank you guys. I really, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate it. I'm giving this my all, and when I took a break from my MBA program to focus on this dream, all I could hope for was to have people watching the videos, enjoying them, and that's what it's all about. So enough of me rambling. Thank you very much for joining us. Today we're once again working on the S14. If you watched last week's video, we did a super deep clean on the interior. I'm talking carpet cleaning with an extractor. We did a full vacuum on all of the seats and did the extractor on that as well. So I pulled so much dirt out of the carpet and the seats. It was disgusting. If you haven't watched that video, I'll link it up in the corner. You guys should go watch that beforehand so you're all up to speed on this project. But today, we're getting the full interior put back in the car. Let me show you where we left off. Here's what we're working with inside the car. As you can see, the carpet looks pretty good. I'd give it like a 8.5 or 9 out of 10. It came back and really looks awesome to a point where I'm satisfied with it, and I'm super picky. So that's all good to go. As you can see, we've got the door cards off. So we've got the full exterior out back here. And in last week's video, we literally cleaned every surface in here. Everything, even the stuff you're not gonna see. Underneath all the trim panels, like we had to get it clean. There was a lot of dust and dirt. So we're gonna go ahead and start getting this all back together. And let me show you the interior real fast. Got the full interior ready to go. Like I said, this whole upholstery set has all been cleaned. We wiped down every panel here. We've got a super minty new dash to put in the car. Like, this is probably the nicest S14 dash I've ever seen. I paid a lot of money for it, and if someone offered me even double, I don't think I'd take it because I have not seen one in this good a condition almost ever. Got our door sills down there, and then the new A-pillars that I bought that have no screw holes or scratches in them. This thing is gonna look awesome. So the last little bit of stuff here, I've been going through this box down here. This was just spare bolts that were in the floor when I cleaned out the interior last time. Obviously I knew that stuff was important. Here's everything that we've sorted out from when we removed it. And here's the stuff I've been sorting through this morning. So just various bolts. This is for the interior trim pieces. I actually ordered new ones of these that'll be here Tuesday from OEM Part Specialties. As always, use code AVENGE10. I'll put that down in the description to save money on any new Nissan parts. So I've got new bolts for those coming. This guy goes to the back seat. We're gonna need to get one more of those, so I'm gonna get one of those on order. These I believe are dash bolts, but I've got all the good versions of them in the holes in the car just to make sure everything worked. And then these are the seat bolts. As you can see, decent condition, not good enough. We're not gonna use those. So we got all brand new bolts here, 8 of them for the front seats. This is the level of restoration we're doing here, guys. Brand new bolts for the seats. So I want to be very careful moving all of this stuff. There is a few sharp edges on the seats and that kind of stuff that could do damage to other parts. So I want to put this interior back together like as methodically as possible to lower the risk of anything hitting and damaging anything else. So I'm gonna start at the back of the car, get that back whole seat area taken care of. And then I'm really torn if I want to put the dash in while the front seats are out to have that extra room, or put the seats in before the dash so I don't have to risk the seat rails hitting the dash. I'll decide on that. You guys will see whatever I decide to do, but let's go ahead and get to it. All right, I just want to take a brief intermission from getting the 240 back together to remind you guys that OEM Part Specialties is the plug for Nissan parts. Let me show you what they hooked us up with for the 240. So if you're anything like me, all of these new from factory parts that are in front of us right now, like, totally makes me freak out. I'm super excited about this, and especially with a car that's 23 years old, to be able to have new interior pieces where you spend all of the time you're with that car looking at them is so important to me. And so to be able to have new plastics and not just like the best condition ones I could find is super rad. Now, these are all the pieces that go down the center of the dashboard. Climate control up there, a few other buttons down here, stereo, shifter. So all of those down the center will be brand new plastic from Nissan. Super awesome. Now, I was stoked about these because the kouki interior that I got didn't have seatbelts. I'm assuming he took them off to put them on whatever seats he put in the car, which is totally understandable. But the fact that Nissan still has these, God, I'm so excited about that. And these are gonna look great along with the rest of the new plastics in the interior. So we've got one of those for the driver and passenger seat. And then they make this still, as well as this, for the doors, which obviously I had to have it. Like, if they have it new, I'm gonna buy it. And that is just crazy to me. Like, you can see the ones in the car were in pretty good shape, and like I could probably sell this if I wanted to, but when you put the two of them next to each other, it becomes very clear that this one is in much better condition. So that'll be a nice upgrade. These ones I believe are both for the driver's side door. I do have the passenger side coming. They were just on back order, so we'll have new plastics all around. And then just a few other odds and ends. The screws that hold a lot of the trim pieces together. They still make the radio bracket that will go in here and hold the doubled in. Waiting on the other one of this as well, but you know how to buy that. New seat screws. And then these guys hold the rear quarter panel, like interior piece that goes next to the rear seat on. These were really brittle and broke when I was pulling them out. You only need 2 for the car, but I got 4 just so I have some extras. We'll get those in. And then last but not least, the steering wheel. So huge shout out to the guys at LZMFG for sending this out to me. I really appreciate it. Through working at Griot's and arranging Adam's Formula Drift sponsorship this year, I've gotten to know those guys super well. So James, if you're watching this, huge shout out for the steering wheel. Like, this means the world to me, and I cannot wait to get it in the car. The quality on it is just awesome. Obviously, at least in current form, the car is gonna be relatively stock. So I was a little worried about like an aftermarket steering wheel kind of sticking out like a sore thumb. But I had to get a little sneak peek the other day. I did put this in the car and it looks right at home. Like, something about this kind of orangish color just fits in with the rest of the 90s vibes that are going on in the interior. Oh, and it looks so perfect. And then to complete the steering wheel setup, we got a Works Bell hub. I wanted something that was gonna look really OEM in the car. You'll see it when I unbox it here, but like, it literally looks like it could come from Nissan like this. I had it in my car and my dad was like, is that a factory part? But totally fits the build that we're going with here. Enough of me rambling about the new plastic parts that I'm too excited for. Let's go ahead and get the car back together. And again, huge shout out to OEM Part Specialties. Like, this interior is gonna be perfect because of them. And once we're done with the build, they're gonna have a lot to do with why this car, I'm telling you, is one of the nicest 240s you're gonna see on the road. If you don't believe me now, just stick around and you'll see it. But let's get back to it. I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed that interior restoration. The interior on this car looks like an entirely different vehicle. Like, I can hardly believe it's the same car as it was when we started with this in the last video. It just looks so good. And I pulled the car outside just to get some video of the interior with like natural light versus being in the garage to show you guys what I just showed you. But let's take a moment to appreciate how good the car looks just sitting outside now that it's been all detailed and everything. I mean, would you just look at that? It's missing bumpers. It's missing the whole front end. It's got whack wheels on it, but like, I'm really starting to see what this car is going to look like once it's all done. It's all about seeing the vision, boys. But just to give you guys a quick run through what's going on in the interior. All right, so as you guys saw, interior is 95% there. A couple of odds and ends we need to clean up. The horn doesn't quite fit in here, so I got to figure out what my best option is to get that to fit and make sure it doesn't fall out or anything. Got a couple missing buttons over here. These are just dead buttons, but someone had drilled a hole into the one that was here, so I need to find one for both sides. Got to get the ashtray still. Cigarette lighter, so a couple like things to fill in. Threw the head unit in there just to see what that looks like, but we are super close, boys. And we still have new plastics coming for here and over here, so those will get replaced. And then there's just some little odds and ends, like I still need to get a bolt for down here, gotta source that. And I actually found out that once that's bolted in there, there's a little cover that actually goes over that. It's apparently been discontinued, but I did find some in Japan and I'm completely sick and actually ordered 2 of those. So we're gonna have the 2 covers on there. But man, you guys, I can't believe this is the same car. Oh, and because I just have total problems, I found one of these new for 40 bucks and I couldn't help myself. So we're gonna have a new top for this. You can see there's some very minor scratches on it that'll all be gone with a new top. You guys, this project is really starting to come together. Like I said, I'm seeing the vision for it and I'm so excited about this car. Like, I've only had it for a couple months now, but I am absolutely in love with it and just feel this like attachment to it and cannot wait to get this car finished and one day driving. Obviously, we're a long ways from that, but if you guys are liking this 240 content, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, throw this video a like, leave a comment down below. I really appreciate the engagement. But until next time, peace out and I'll see you guys soon.